Cool Theory presentation of Social Cognition and Social Learning Theories of Education and Technology by Rosa Vestal. I will specifically be presenting social learning theory that draws heavily on the concept of modeling or learning by observing a behavior. Albert Bandura is a psychologist at Stanford University, and for almost 6 decades he had been responsible for contributions to the field of education and to psychology. He is most known as the originator of social learning theory and the theoretical construct of self-efficacy, and most notable for the influential 1961 Bobo doll experiment. Here is a short clip of the experiment that models aggressive behavior by the model and how the child imitates that behavior.
The model pummeled the doll with the mallet, flung it in the air, kicked it repeatedly, threw it down and beat it. It was once widely believed that seeing others vent aggression would drain the viewer's aggressive drive. As you can see, exposure to aggressive modeling is hardly cathartic. Exposure to aggressive modeling increased attraction to guns, even though it was never modeled. Guns had less appeal to children who had no exposure to aggressive modeling. The children also picked up the novel hostile language.
The definition of social learning theory is a theory that people learn through observing others' behaviors, attitudes, and outcomes of those behaviors. Bandura said most human behavior is learned observationally through modeling. From observing others, one forms an idea of how new behaviors are performed, and on later occasions, this coded information serves as a guide for action. This theory explains human behavior in terms of continuous reciprocal interaction between cognitive, behavioral, and environmental influences. My rationale for choosing the social learning theory was influenced by my status as mom and educator. I was intrigued first of all as a mother of teenage girls and an educator of early childhood and elementary students. I related to Bandura when he outlined the 3 types of modeling stimuli. Number 1, a live model, in which an actual person is demonstrating the desired behavior. Number 2, verbal instruction, in which an individual describes the desired behavior in detail and instructs the participant in how to engage in the behavior. And finally, number 3, symbolic, in which modeling occurs by means of the media, including movies, television, literature, and radio. The stimuli in this particular scenario can either be real or fictional characters. As educators, we influence greatly with the 3rd stimuli that Bandura speaks of, and as we have an increase in push for more device usage in the classroom, we need to be educated on the symbolic use of this medium. An application of the theory is the classroom and teaching strategies drawing on principles of social learning to enhance students' knowledge acquisition and retention. An example of this is guided participation. A teacher says a phrase and he asks the class to repeat the phrase. The students both imitate and reproduce the teacher's actions, aiding retention. Another application of this theory is classroom behavior of students by modeling appropriate behavior and visibly rewarding students for good behavior. An example for this would be, "Thank you, Susie, for looking at me. I can tell you are ready to begin." We then see a majority of the students imitate Susie's behavior, and soon class order is restored. Finally, game-based social learning platforms are being integrated into the curriculum to reinforce knowledge while encouraging peer-to-peer support, debate, critical thinking, and development of leadership skills. One such platform is Kahoot, and I use this monthly to reinforce foreign language learning of vocabulary, and it has been a great tool to do so. The technology that can be applied to my teaching context for Spanish is one that I use consistently in my Spanish class, Kahoot. It delivers educational content and meaningful questions that are in real time, creating a social, fun, and game-like environment. I use Kahoot to reinforce vocabulary comprehension.